My name is Tammy, and I am proud to say that I am a breast cancer survivor, and this is my story. It is the last week of May 1998. I am 28 years old, and I am 6 months pregnant with my second child. My right breast begins to bleed, not a lot, but just enough to stain my shirt if I don't wear a nursing pad. We are going to the North Shore vacationing for Memorial Day weekend, so that Friday I go to the clinic to have the bleeding checked out. The doctor, an older gentleman, tells me he'll give it the old college try to get a blood sample for the lab. I am pregnant, scared, and now I'm mortified. He cannot get enough for a sample. We go up the North Shore. In the days before cell phones, I call my mom from a payphone at the state park to assure her it will be fine and there will be nothing to worry about. But the big C of cancer flashes through my mind constantly. I am worried, I am scared, and I am way too young to be dealing with the big C. I meet with a much younger doctor who tells me I need a procedure involving dye shot in the milk ducts by inserting a very small needle in my nipple, and I have an intense fear of needles. The doctor formally addresses me and says, "Mrs. Schotzko, why are you crying?" And I want to point out that he would feel the same if he were facing this, but I remain silent. My parents and husband come to the clinic with me. The nurses give me 2 Valium, but they don't really help. My mom says I seem calm, but inside I am climbing out of my own skin. They finish the procedure, and I fairly fly out of the clinic, barely stopping to gather my family in the waiting room. We go out for lunch, and I have a bowl of ripe strawberries with real sweet cream. Back to the doctor, this time to my own personal OB. The test results are inconclusive, with a less than 1% chance that I have cancer. Any further testing at this point would be a strain on my pregnancy, and he advises me to come back after the baby is born. I'm never coming back, I think to myself. The bleeding continues, annoying but not life-threatening. I give birth to a beautiful, healthy baby girl on September 11th of 1998. I attempt to nurse her, but it's obvious I don't have enough milk. I feel unworthy and damaged. I'm suffering from migraines almost daily, and my breast continues to bleed. My baby is 6 months old, and my son is 4 when my husband accepts a job in a town 6 hours away, and we move. I'm so tired, I'm overwhelmed, and my head hurts. I see no familiar faces in this community, yet I'm scared, and I'm very insecure, and my breast continues to bleed. Memorial Day rolls around again, and it's been a year since the original bleeding. Go see the doctor, for heaven's sakes, my husband encourages. Just get it taken care of. I really don't want to face the possibility of the big C that's ever present in my mind, but I'm really sick of dealing with the bleeding, so I make an appointment. The doctor, a woman this time, biopsies my right breast. She comes to my bed in the recovery room to tell me things look good and there was really nothing suspicious. Come back and see her in a week for a post-op check. I'm relieved, almost euphoric. I share the news with family, friends, pretty much anyone that will listen at this point. I stop for my post-op check on our way out of town for a week at my in-laws. My daughter, now 9 months old, is very fussy. I hold her in the room and rock on my heels as the surgeon tells me I have early-stage breast cancer. Early stage, late stage, it really doesn't matter at this point. All I hear is the word cancer. My daughter throws up on the floor and I stand there in shock. As we leave town, my son is thrilled with his spot in the previously forbidden front seat, and he doesn't understand why his mom is quietly sobbing behind him. I want to be in my own home, and I want my own mom, I voice through my tears. But plans have been made, and we follow through with them, and I silently want to die. I'm angry, scared, tired, overwhelmed. I box up the cancer diagnosis in my brain, where it runs on an endless loop, like a hamster on a wheel. I need help, mentally, emotionally, physically, but I don't know who or how or what to ask for or from whom. I'm on autopilot. Now barely 30, I choose a mastectomy. The night before surgery, I decide to have both breasts removed. I feel like I'm on a runaway train going nowhere. The surgeon mentions reconstruction again, and I just stare at her blankly. How can I possibly comprehend another procedure or another decision? I come to in the elevator on the way to my room, but I don't open my eyes. I hear the nurse comment, "Poor thing, and so young. I hope she has a private room." I want to go home. I don't want to learn about drainage tubes and measuring output. I cry off and on and all night. By 8 a.m. the next morning, I'm dressed and I'm ready for discharge. no longer feel like a woman. I really don't know what I am. I cry, I'm angry, I want to know why me, and I want answers. But from whom? People look at me differently. Or do they? I try prosthetics. I hate them. They make me feel even more fake. I give up and wear nothing. I avoid swimming and swimsuits like the plague. Months pass. I feel suicidal. I cry when I'm alone in the car every time I think about driving my car off the cliff. My kids flash before my eyes and it keeps me between the lines of the road. I cry in the shower. Sometimes I hide under my bed or in the back of my closet and sob. I have self-diagnosed survivor guilt. More time passes. I become somewhat obsessed with breasts. They're suddenly everywhere in the media. I have an aversion to October and the pink breast cancer awareness marketing campaign. A Campbell's soup end cap display at the grocery store kind of pushes me over the edge. I cannot reconcile my physical self with what society says is normal. Years pass. I approach 40, cancer-free and now accepting of my body. It's time to put this decade behind me. I learned about a new reconstruction method that uses my own muscle, tissue, and fat. Surgery is set for January 3rd, 2008, 9 years and 6 months after my mastectomy. I'm scared and excited simultaneously. The surgery takes over 9 hours and recovery is painful, but I feel like a new woman. I wear swimsuits and tank tops. I realize now that I couldn't face reconstruction without first accepting myself as I was without breasts. My name is Tammy. I am proud to say that I am a breast cancer survivor and my story will continue. Thank you all.